Hello, this is James here to give you my thoughts on Microsoft's press conference of 2017. So, they started off really strong. They showed off the Xbox One X, revealed what it looked like. To me, at first, I thought it kind of looked like a black box without much identity, but then later on, then they said that it was actually the smallest Xbox One and showed the controller for comparison. I thought that was pretty mind-blowing, so I couldn't really complain then. If they managed to achieve that, I can't really complain about how stylistic it is. So yeah, function over looks. It talks about the specs, which I think most of we already know, particularly with the 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM, which is interesting. Originally, it was that the devs only had access to 8 gigabytes, but according to a Tech Radar article I read, it turns out they now have access to 9 gigabytes, so that's pretty cool. And the other thing was the GPU having six teraflops, which everyone's going mad over, which I'm not 100% sure what it means, other than that it's something about the speeds that it processes graphics. But of course the PS4 has 4.2 teraflops, so yeah, it's bigger, so that's a good thing. And yeah, we got a release date of November 7th. Now I gotta say, I did laugh a bit when the guy said it has Blu-ray 4K playback, because one of the ups, it was kind of a small dig at Sony, I reckon, since the PS4 Pro doesn't have a Blu-ray player. And they said all Xbox One games will work on the X, but with better graphical settings, and which is pretty cool. And also the fact that the Xbox One X will look good on 1080p TVs, which of course it will. I mean, resolution isn't the only thing that isn't the only improvement to graphics you can get, so of course better hardware will make it look good in other places. So the first game they showed was Forza 7, and to be honest, I wasn't that impressed with this. To be honest, it looked as good as, you know, they show racing games at these things all the time, and it looked just as good as when they show them. So I don't know, but again, I guess they're always a bit downgraded when they're released, so maybe this one will actually look as good as it's seen here. So yeah, I don't know, I wasn't that impressed really. So then Phil Spencer came out and said they were going to be showing 42 games, and 22 of those will apparently be exclusives. Now, I got excited about this at first, but that quickly disappeared. And when I rewatched it, I realised the key word here was console exclusivity, as in exclusive only to, as in the Xbox One consoles are the only console these games will be on, but that doesn't exclude PC. So yeah, I should have got that from the beginning. So the first game they showed was another Metro game, Metro Exodus. I wasn't 100% sure what this was at first. I had a feeling it might be Metro. The first clue was when it showed the guy burning the cobweb with a torch, which I think was introduced in Last Light. And it was interesting that when he got outside that he took his helmet off, which is like the opposite of what happens in the other Metro games, that you put your helmet or gas mask, whatever, when you put it on when you go outside as opposed to taking it off. So that was pretty cool. Maybe it's a prequel to the other Metro games when things went so bad. The area didn't look as dead as the other Metro games either. I think there was a bit of green there, whereas, you know, the other Metro games, it's all just grey and white and not very pleasant. But then again, I never actually finished Metro Last Light, so maybe something happened at the end of that I don't know about. But yeah, gameplay, it's pretty good. When you got to that big beast thing near the end, it really interesting. It looked scripted, but if it isn't, I'd be very impressed if it was that like legit gameplay, from like the way the character ran to the cliff and kind of stopped at the edge to look down. Like that looked very natural. And then how, like, after shooting a few rockets at the beast, it kind of fell off the edge, but was just hanging on. And you think, oh, he's he's going to shoot him till he falls down, but no, he got on the rope and escaped, which was very unexpected. Like, the fact that he could just leave the beast there was pretty interesting. So yeah, it all looked very scripted, but if it isn't, that's very impressive. I do like that kind of thing. And yeah, and I gotta say, the graphics here did actually quite impress me. There was a lot of detail, it seemed. So yeah, very impressed with that one. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to go through every game like this. I'm going to skip a few. But then they showed the new Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, I got to say, I feel bad whenever they show a new Assassin's Creed at these things because I'm so far behind. I never actually finished Brotherhood because I keep getting bored. Actually, I've tried to play through it twice and I just stopped because I keep getting bored. So yeah, I'm gonna have to leave it behind at this point. But yeah, again, I was quite impressed with how this game looked and everything. But fortunately, then it got to gameplay and just the icons over people's heads and the compass at the top of the screen. It all just looks very gamey and kind of at odds with the organic Egyptian setting. It's like, yeah, you're in Egypt, but oh, it's a game, which, you know, it's very unimmersive, I felt. Stealth looked pretty fun, but then it got to the combat, and I gotta say, I swear the combat in Assassin's Creed 1 was more fluid than this. It looked, I don't know what the word is, but it didn't look very convincing. So then they got to Battlegrounds, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, I suppose. Now it's funny, I actually stumbled across this game when I was looking for a game to do a video on. But then I saw there were plenty of videos on YouTube of it already, so, you know, people were covering it already, so I thought, I won't bother with that. But, I don't know, apparently there's more than that. It's actually pretty popular, it seems, so, yeah, definitely wasn't worth doing a video on. But, yeah, it looks very interesting. I guess it's a 100-player survival combat game where it's like the last person standing on, like, a big-ass map, I suppose. So, yeah, it does look like a lot of fun. But yeah, of course, this is when I first noticed something was up with the exclusivity thing, because it claimed Battlegrounds was an exclusive, but as I said, I'd seen it on Steam, so of course it's not an exclusive. So yeah, from that point on, I just couldn't trust or get excited whenever it said the game was exclusive, because, you know, it might be on PC as well. And then as the show went on, I noticed every time it was saying on the screen launch exclusive, so I guess that means if it isn't on the PC already, it just means it's a launch exclusive, meaning it might be only on Xbox for a while, but it will come on other platforms later. So yeah, very disappointing. Now they showed some State of Decay 2. I think they showed some gameplay, but it was mostly cutscene like. I never got the first one, but I always thought it's pretty interesting, so I might get this at some point. Now, Minecraft was pretty funny. Apparently it's getting a graphical update, which it looked pretty good, but was it really necessary to wait for an Xbox One X for this? I mean, the reason Minecraft looks like it does isn't because of hardware limitations, so it's not like they had to wait for an Xbox One X to do something like this, so I don't know why they made such a big deal out of it, but yeah, I don't know, as I said, my excitement just dropped from here on. It was really hard to get excited when, yeah, there was just no exclusives. I'm just gonna skip over a lot. Sea of Thieves looked like a lot of fun. It was the first time we saw some gameplay of that, but it looks like something that you need to play with friends, and so it's something that I don't think I'll be able to make that commitment for, which kind of sucks. The only other interesting thing that comes to mind is we saw some Crackdown 3 gameplay at last. But the thing is, I thought the whole thing with that was that they're going to be destructible environments, so they need to use the cloud for that. It was like there was a big thing made of that. But I saw cars being destroyed, but I don't think I saw any buildings being destroyed, or like, you know, the terrain being like messed up in any way. So I was pretty disappointed with that, but it did look pretty fun. Ashton looks pretty cool, I think. And then I showed some Shadow of War gameplay. Now it's funny because I still haven't played Shadow of Mordor. I've had very good things about it, and I'm planning to, but it's a thing, I've not allowed myself to play any Lord of the Rings related games until I get through the books, so I really want to do that first, and I'm actually in the process of doing that. I'm on the 3rd book right now, so be able to play Shadow of Mordor soon, so just need to get through that book, and then I'll be free for all those Lord of the Ring games I've been missing out on, so that'd be pretty cool. Then towards the end, Phil Spencer had an announcement that got me a bit excited again. original Xbox compatibility will be a thing later this year, he said. But yeah, that's very cool. And gotta be honest, as soon as he brought up the backwards compatibility thing, I was really intense. It was like, God, if there isn't going to be original Xbox One compatibility, if that's not what he's going to talk about, then I'll be so disappointed. But yeah, you know, there won't be any other reason he brings up. So yeah, it was very satisfying and very happy. And then the price reveal, which was $499, which is very, very cool. It was kind of what I thought it should be. So I think it's a very reasonable price. So no complaints there. And lastly, they showed some Anthem gameplay, which of course was teased during the EA show, but here we got to see some actual gameplay. Looks like a lot of fun, and again, graphically very impressive. Which I gotta say, there weren't that many graphically impressive games for this show, despite it being, you know, a show for the Xbox One X. But yeah, it looked pretty fun. But of course, being a BioWare game, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic after the Andromeda disaster. And yeah, that was it. So yeah, not that excited overall. And it's just like, the really disappointing thing is that, I think I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here, is that even it was so promising, the 2014 Xbox Microsoft conference, and I'll say even the 2013 one, I mean, you know, forgetting the whole like forcing the Kinect on us and what was the other thing, having to be always online, I think the Xbox One looks like it had a lot going for it. They had a lot of exclusives, or what we thought were exclusives, you know, like, you know, I think it was the first reveal was Quantum Break, and then there was Dead Rising 3, Rise Son of Rome, although that didn't look that good, Titanfall, of course. You know, these were pretty big games that I would have easily got excited for it if it wasn't for the anti-consumer things they were doing. So yeah, and then of course it was even better next year, 2014, when they did away with the Kinect and the always online thing, and you know, Phil Spencer took over, so you could kind of rest easy again. And yeah, it was great. Again, they really brought the exclusives. I think they showed some Quantum Break gameplay, which I thought was pretty cool. Again, what we thought were exclusives, but you know, at the time it was, you know, it was inspiring a lot of confidence. So yeah, it's got some Quantum Break gameplay, showed some revealed Fable Legends, first showing of Scalebound Inside, and of course the Halo Master Chief Collection. It had a lot going for it, and I suppose it didn't help that I think 2014 was Sony's worst E3 since launching the PS4. I think the only interesting thing during that was Bloodborne. If it, you know, it kind of saved it, I think, for me. But so, and now on, it's like they're intentionally, it's like now they're bringing no exclusives, and all that momentum and excitement is just gone. And it's like they've done it very intentionally, and it's just really disappointing. And on the other hand, Sony is killing it with the exclusives, which is awesome, don't get me wrong. But yeah, very disappointed in Microsoft. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my Sony thoughts video conference. Yeah, those are the right words, not in the right order. So yeah, see you then.